Hello, everybody. Welcome to my kitchen. We are batch cooking, and it's also Pancake Day. So we have a lot of fun, hopefully, in this live. The idea is that you have someone to batch cook with you to keep you accountable to your nutrition goals throughout the year. We cook a lot of whole foods here at the Good Simple Life. It's one of the core principles of the Good Simple Life. We fuel our bodies with whole natural foods as much as possible. So there's minimal inclusion of any processed foods in this batch cook. Tonight we're making steak, corn and bean salad, and then we're doing fish. I have a combination of cod and salmon, and with that we're going to do a coconut curry orzo. So let's dive right in. I'm going to angle down. I did some prep in advance. I washed all of my veggies because my sink is behind me. This is the best setup that I can have in my little teeny tiny London kitchen. So we're going to start working. I'm going to show you an efficient flow in the kitchen so that you can get several meals out in as little time as possible. So I've spoken for a minute and a half. So hopefully in 31, when the clock is at 31 minutes, we would have cooked quite a bit of food. So let's jump right in. So for the bean salad, I'm going to start cooking the corn. So we're going to have lots of things on the go. You have to keep your kitchen like a production line, and I have lots of things on the go. So I'm heading into the freezer. I'm going to keep talking, be out of frame for a little while, just to get the frozen corn. I have been buying some vegetables frozen. So this is like the last little bit of my frozen corn. So we're going to pop that on the hob here to cook. And then to help me out, I have a tin of black beans. This is from Dutchy Organic. The Waitrose line. So, going to get the corn going. And we will also be enjoying some pancakes for Pancake Day. I'm going to show you a lovely, simple rum sauce, rum, lemon, and sugar we're going to put on top. Hello to everybody joining the live. Welcome to the Good Simple Life. We're batch cooking. So we've just put our corn on the hob. This is frozen corn. I'm going to cook it. I'm going to put that here. I might need to adjust my camera so that you can see. When this live is done, I am doing very well. Thank you so much for asking. Happy Pancake Day to you, and happy Chinese New Year. Gong hei fat choi, everybody. So corn is on. We're going to start doing our veggie prep. This is our veggie prep station. I'm going to use the board this way so you get to see as much as possible. Knife. One of the sides for our steak, apart from the corn and bean salad, we're going to have some sauteed cavolo nero, which is in the cruciferous family. It's a dark leafy green. So we'll be getting our vitamin A, chlorophyll, and of course fiber. The stem is quite fibrous and tough, so we're going to cut that out. I'm going to run my knife down from around this point of the cavolo nero all the way to the end to remove that fibrous mid-stem. So we're going to do that. We're doing everything in real time just to let you know that you can have whole, fresh foods for your meals. You can prep them in batches to save time. So when I have all of my food ready, I'm less inclined to do Deliveroo, takeout, and make choices for the sake of convenience that set me back on where I want to be with my nutrition. We have quite a bit of cavolo nero to work through here. So I'm very sorry if my back will be to you for a little while. My camera setup is not as agile as I would like it because I need a little bit of height to be able to see you, and also you get to see my workstation. So let's keep working through, running the knife down along here. You're very welcome to cook these, but the time they are edible, the time required to get this to a suitable level of softness is quite significant. And then at the point you've overcooked the leaves. So you can save these. You can blitz them in a food processor, add them to muffins, add them to soups, the things that are cooking for longer. So you're keeping fat. That's actually what I'm going to do. So I have a little baggie here. So when I'm all done, these are going to go into the freezer because it's good edible fiber, but not exactly what I want for how I'm sauteing my cavolo nero. We're going to saute the cavolo nero in a beautiful butter that is a smoked salt butter. Fantastic. I'll show you that in a moment. In terms of our macros per meal and per day, I am aiming for less than 70 grams of carbs per meal and 120 grams of protein per day. I am currently trying to lose 10 kilograms to keep me in diabetic remission. I am prone to being type 2 diabetic, so this is why I'm very careful with my carb intake. Your carbohydrates, once they hit your bloodstream, they break down into glucose. So even if you read a nutritional label and you see a sugar amount, you need to also add the carbohydrates. That will come with a disclaimer that I'm not a healthcare professional. Always speak to your doctor, healthcare professional, or a certified nutritionist, but I can still give you the straight nutritional value of these meals. In the interest of time, I don't think I'm going to do all of this cavolo nero, but I do want to demonstrate the recipe. So I think this is enough for maybe 2 meals. Let's do 2 more leaves. And I'm just going to turn around and say, hey, everybody. How is everyone doing? I love live cooking. I have been live cooking for the last 2 years on other social media channels like YouTube and TikTok, and I have finally have enough subscribers to go live on YouTube, and I am terribly, terribly excited because YouTube is a little more democratic than the other social media channels. That's in my experience and opinion. I feel like the reach is a little more global, and YouTube is really for viewers who want deeper knowledge because of the long form being sort of like the backbone of YouTube. So I think I have 2 people on. Hello. So this is all of our cavolo nero done. Video will stay on my channel, so if you want to batch, when I'm done, I'm going to put down the shopping list and the recipes so you can prep. And then when you're in your kitchen, you can put me up on your tablet, or if you're one of those very fortunate people to have a TV in your kitchen, you will have someone to cook along with you so you don't feel alone. I really want people to eat well and not be consuming so many highly processed foods. This lays the foundation for having good cardiovascular health. It's important. I've seen the benefits to my life, my skin. I'm 46 years old, and this is from healthy eating. I really think how I fuel my body has a huge impact on what it looks like. Okay, So we've taken out those fibrous stems. I'm going to save these for, what's this? Add a sticker. No, thank you. I'm going to save these to go into other meals at a later date. I can put this in a soup, in a stir fry, something that can cook a little longer than the leaves would cook. Because if I cooked these with the main leaf, they would be overcooked. So there's your cavolo. We're just going to do a rough chop. Nothing too fancy. We want each cut through all of the leaves to be about 1 centimeter. That's the roughness of your chop. And that's it, really. Super simple. We're going to put this into a pot with a very little bit of water at the bottom. And we're going to steam it for about 10 minutes. No, not that much. Maybe 6 minutes until all of the leaves are wilted. It will go into a really bright green color. That's how you know it's cooked through. Drain the water, and then we're going to add our smoked salt butter. So I'm going to get another pot. Just give my hands a quick rinse. And our lovely surprise at the end of all of this is going to be our lemon butter rum pancakes. Okay, so I have another little pot here. This is all going to go in. That I'm going to give this a little steam. Maybe I should get a different pot. Bigger one with lids. And I'm also going to check on the time. We have been at 12 minutes. So hopefully in the next 20 minutes, we'll have some meals ready, because these are so quick and easy. So there's our cavolo in the pot. I'm not going to add any salt because we're going to be seasoning this with salted butter. A little bit of water. You don't need to cover it, just enough to cover the bottom. Lid on, and then we're going to put this on the hob to steam. So we have 2 items on the go. I'll make myself a little space. And then I'm going to keep doing some veggie prep here. I'm going to put that on 10. And these, I'm going to sort these out before the end of this live. I put them over here. There we go. Okay. Oh, yes, nobody's on right now. That's okay. I turned my back to the audience. Okay. We have this on the go. Let's start working on our bean salad. So I'm going to angle over to the sink a little bit. We have our tin of organic black beans. And we're going to give these a rinse. So I'm going to tip these over into this strainer here and give them a rinse. Will you be able to? Will. All of the veggies that have been washed are just kind of camping out in the sink until it's their time to shine. Put that in. Black beans and a rinse. For corn and bean salad, the corn is cooking at the moment. We're going to give that a shake. Just going to leave this to drain. Just like that. Don't knock it over. And we're going to start working on the marinade for the bean salad. I'm going to give my knife a little rinse. And I have 1 red onion, along nicely. Just gonna I don't like getting the onion skin on the chopping board. I don't know why. It's a weird little pet peeve of mine. I will be sharing the nutritional information per serving. And we also will be doing a little bit of breakfast prep. So I will walk you through a breakfast that will get you 35 grams of protein for breakfast. I hadn't banked on using this onion. Usually I cut those up, but I'm not going to do the whole thing. I'm going to cut about a third of this onion. I don't want my salad to be too strong. And I need to find a lid for that container. Anyway, finely dice this onion. We're going to go across what I call the grain of the onion. So we are perpendicular to the lines on the onion, and then we're just going to go across. I don't have the best chopping skills in the world. I don't hold the vegetable properly. You're supposed to do that thing with your fingers. I don't have good chopping skills, so I'm gonna own up to that. So that is how much onion. I think onion is a bit to taste, but this is about 2 heaped tablespoons. I'm going to put that straight into the container I'm using for my bean salad. The corn is just cooking very nicely. It's going to turn that down a bit. So there's our onion. The beans have drained. I'm going to pop that in there. And then we're going to go in with salt, pepper, close it. We're going to go in with a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. I can eyeball it. It's about a tablespoon or a teaspoon. Hello, everybody. And an equal parts dark apple cider vinegar. I am using my front camera, so I'm sorry for the labels. Just eyeball it. The corn is boiling. For time, we're at 18 minutes, so about halfway through. And it's time. I've done all of my chopping. Actually, no, I haven't done. We're going to do the mushrooms next, because with my steaks, I'm going to grill some mushrooms. So before I move on to using the George Foreman, which I have back here, I have this smokeless George Foreman. Before I move on to using that, look at these beans. Like this, these 3 ingredients, extra virgin olive oil, the fresh red onion, and the beans. They smell so good. I'm going to have a little bite. Delicious. I'm going to chop the mushrooms. I'm going to get a little bowl to put them in. Whole chestnut mushrooms, and all we're going to do is just cut them in half straight down the middle, and we're going to grill them on the flat side down in the George Foreman when the time comes to it. Let's get rid of this because it's making my kitchen smell like onions. And let's get chopping with these mushrooms straight down the middle. I'm not going to season them because I will grill them after I've done my steak. choking on my live. Nobody call the ambulance. I'm fine. If you can't laugh at yourself. If you can't laugh at yourself, it's just not worth it. I think I inhaled like a little piece of bean or something. Anyway, I think I've recovered. We're making our way through these mushrooms. Oh my goodness. This is the beauty of live. You get to see what your content creators are really like. Okay. Mushrooms are done. So so before I was so rudely interrupted by my own like airway malfunction, I was saying that I don't want to season these mushrooms because when I'm done cooking the steak, there's going to be leftover like steak juices and maybe little bits of charred meat on there. And I think that's what I want to season the mushrooms. The mushrooms are going to give off a lot of water, and then they're going to help sort of, in a way, deglaze the cooking surfaces of the George Foreman grill. All right. So our corn is ready, but I don't want to add it to the beans while it's hot. So I'm just going to drain them and let them cool. So it smells delicious. Corn. And then I'm going to put them on trivet to cool. Just like that. I'm just going to leave them out like that to cool. Once they've cooled, I'll add them in with the beans, give that a mix. Excuse me. And let's check on the kale, on the Cavolo Nero. This is the darker green that I was talking about. So that's looking like it's ready. I need to track down my little cloth. We like to keep things tidy as we go along. And I think, let me work on sauteing this. I think it's ready. So I'm just going to turn that off. And then I'm going to move over to this burner. The meat is going to cook very quickly. We'll talk about that. Let me tell you about this butter. It's amazing. So here I have Maison Bordier from France. This is Beurre Bordier in the sel fumé. So this is a smoked salt butter. You can get it in Paris at the Épicerie in Bon Marché, and in London it's available at La Fromagerie in Marylebone. It smells amazing. It's smoked salt worked into the butter. Look at that. It's fantastic. I love it. Message retracted. Oh dear. Anyway, I am going to say hi to everybody. Yes. So now that we have steamed our Cavolo Nero, what I'm going to do is drain it, season it, and we're going to mix in that butter. Just a quick drain, like that. I'm going to leave it covered to retain as much heat as possible. And then I'm going to add a generous knob of my sel fumé beurre. This is a generous knob. And that's just going to go straight in there. Salt, pepper, and we're going to work that butter through so that it coats all of our cavolo nero. Now I'm going to put the heat back on to drive some of that water out so that it is dry. This is batch cooking. Everything is going to get portioned out into really lovely lunches and dinners. They'll go into the fridge and freezer so that food is always at hand. And each meal that I prepare is going to have a significant amount of protein, at least 30 grams. So that butter is all melted. That cavolo nero is now coated in a beautiful smoked butter. Do I want to eat another bite live and start coughing and choking and having? Oh, that is so delicious. It's so simple and it's so delicious. So that's one side done. Yeah, I see where the problem is. I just inhaled there. Okay, I'm going to leave that covered. Moving along, I'm going to walk you through the 35 grams of protein breakfast that I have. And we're going to start preparing that in batches as well. So we've done all of our sides. I do have some tender stem broccoli and some fine French beans that will also be steamed. We'll do these once we get the meat on because these are steamed very quickly. I don't like to over steam things. I like when they go to a nice bright green. They remain crisp. They retain a lot of flavor and crunch. And it's also better for having your meals prepped when you're batch cooking. You don't want these to be soggy because when you reheat and then you put things in the microwave, even for 2 minutes when you reheat a meal, that's enough to do a little extra cooking. So if your vegetables are already super soft and soggy, they're just going to keep overcooking in the microwave when you get to reheating. So it's going to move on to our lovely friend, George Foreman. May he rest in peace. We're going to do the grilling. This is waiting for the corn to cool down for our corn and bean salad. So I'm going to move this out of the way and put the butter in the fridge. We don't want that melting. We're at 28 minutes. So I guess all of my little yapping was a bit too much, but hey, gotta keep doing any dead air. Gotta keep it moving. So let's move this a little closer to the fume hood. It's going to get louder and hopefully it's not too irritating and you can still hear me. But I'm going to plug this in. The red light's going to come on. I don't know if you can see that. When it turns green, it's reached the optimal cooking temperature. For breakfast, our 35-gram breakfast is going to consist of 2 chicken chipotles. That's 2 chicken sausages. They have tomato, mozzarella, basil, and garlic. This is from the Heck brand. And 2 grilled chipotles give you 11 grams of protein. We serve our chipotles for breakfast with cottage cheese and 2 large eggs. I love the free-range eggs from, this is covering something. I love the Dutchy Organic free-range eggs. These are available at Waitrose. Look at how beautiful they are. And 2 large eggs are going to give you, gosh, I don't have my notes in front of me. Let me do the math because the cottage cheese, 100 grams of cottage cheese gives you 9 grams of protein. So if we have 11 and 9, yeah, so the 2 eggs is going to be 19, another 8 grams or so. No, it's more than that. Anyway, all together, 100 grams of cottage cheese, 2 large eggs, and 2 chicken chipotles. When I put them into my nutrition app, it's about 35 grams of protein. That's how you start the day, high protein. I like to cook my eggs fresh. The cottage cheese is just sort of in the fridge. You serve yourself. And then I have to batch cook the chipotles. I can smell the heat of the grill, but the light is still red, so I have to wait a little longer. But I'm going to walk you through some pointers on the George Foreman grill. I'm just going to put these back in the fridge. Whoever the 2 people are that are staying on so long, thank you, I love you. Now the George Foreman grill comes with a little drip tray on the side. I fill this up halfway with water because it makes cleanup a breeze. So we're going to do that now. Light is still red. Just going to get a glass here. I'm just going to pour some water in the drip tray. When we're done cooking, I'm just going to show that to you so you see what it's like. You don't want to fill it all the way up. You just want to cover the entire bottom of the drip tray. That's enough. You don't want any, I just need a little more. You don't want any unexposed or exposed surface. It just has to be covered with water. So when you have all of those really greasy drippings, they're landing in water, it's fat. It will float on the surface of the water. And then when you take the drip tray out, you just pour, everything comes out. It makes cleanup so easy. So that's a little tip for you while we are waiting patiently. The light is still red. I'm going to cook all of my chipotles at the same time. And then I'm going to put them in a Tupperware. They last very well. You don't have to worry about these going off. And that's 5 meals because there are 10 of these. That's 5 breakfasts for the week. You can have other high protein options if you don't want to do these back to back every day. I can eat the same thing, the same 3 meals every day. Like, that stuff doesn't bother me. A lot of people feel like, oh, it's repetitive, but I feel like no. There are meals in between. Like, you're not eating all day long. So guys, the green light's on. So George makes life so easy. We're going to do 5 and 5. You want to lay these chipotles perpendicular to the grill lines so they cook evenly. I like to do 5 and 5 on each side. I like to keep them in the middle of the grill so they get the best and even heat distribution. The nice thing about these is that they cook really quickly. They're chicken. And I just give that a little press. I like to flatten them out a bit. So the cooking instructions say, pan fry, 8 to 10 minutes, grill, 12 to 14 minutes, turning occasionally. So I usually, with these chipotles, whatever the grill time is, I divide that in half. So 6 to 7 minutes. It's now 9:23, so at 9:30 I'll check on these. But our grill plates are touching the chipotles on both sides. They'll cook through evenly. It's half the time. No turning, no fuss. So guys, we are moving along very nicely here. We've spoken about breakfast. Our veggies are washed and ready. So while these chipotles are cooking, I'm going to check on the corn to see if it's not cool enough yet. I'm going to start doing my little dishes for steak. I have 2 steaks, so I'll have 2 steak lunches or meals. So I'm going to start dishing out the sides for the steak, which is going to be cavolo and mushrooms. So my steak days are going to be my low carb days, and my fish days are going, well, I think it's almost 0 carb. Yeah, because I have no starches, but very, very low. So I've just divided that in half, and I'm putting my cavolo into a glass Tupperware with a lid. These are from IKEA. This is what I use to store my batch cook. Eating live is dangerous, because when you're chewing and talking, I realize that when I inhale, I'm inhaling food. I'm choking. You have to be very careful. Oh, that smells delicious. You can smell the basil and the mozzarella. So I'm going to put the fume hood on. Hopefully it's not too loud. We're at the 36-minute mark. So we are definitely behind time. But we did do a little bit of yammering in there. A little bit of time to explain things, talk you through things. But definitely it would take half an hour, and a lot of you are new here, so I want to spend a little time with you. Ooh, look at that! Love it! So it's 3 more minutes to go. Now one of these plates is flat and the other one, you'll notice that there's a little more even charring on the ones that are touching this full plate. So in the last 2 minutes, which is coming up soon, I'm going to give those a flip around. I have my tongs here at the ready. So when the chipotles are done, they're going to go into yet another glass container. So in the morning, sometimes I snip them up into little slices. I saute them in butter, and then I just put my eggs in and I make a scramble. That's my breakfast. And then I serve myself 100 grams of cottage cheese. And that's the 35 grams of protein to start the day. I don't have to do the grilling, like 2 sausages at a time, so I always have things on the go. As much as you lower the bar to entry, you increase your chances of success with your nutrition goals. So batch cooking is a wonderful help in that regard. So I need another trivet here. I'm going to put that over there. And we have 1 minute to go, so I'm going to give these a turn. Just turn them over once. But I think for the most part they are cooked through. Will really reduces cooking time on things. Just going to give that a little press so everything is touching the plate. And I'm going to get back on the steaming. Give this a rinse. And our beans and broccoli will be for our fish meals. These need a little bit of attention. They need some trimming. I think I'll do the broccoli first because that's easier. I'll do that. I tried to do all of the washing before we started the live, so that I didn't have my back to. But I'm running out of cooking surface or workstation surface, so I have to do a little bit of chipping over here. So in terms of water in this to steam this, just a little bit at the bottom. You don't need to submerge your veggies in water. I just make sure that they're covered and then let them steam. So we're moving on to our tender stem broccoli. While that's happening, I am going to trim the beans, trim the little stalks off the beans, and also take the chipotles off because they're ready. And then we can start moving on to our steak and our cooking, our sides and our steak meal will be done, and then we'll move on to the fish meals. Chipotles, how was your time? Yeah, you guys are all ready to go. So that is our, I think we did 7 minutes. Yes. 7 minutes cooking time, so like half the suggested time. As I said, I saute these in butter in the morning before I cook them with eggs. So they will get reheated on a proper stove. Let's move on to the steaks. The steaks are going to go through very quickly. Am I going to clean this up? No, because it's a grill and everything is cooked. We'll do the mushrooms last. That's the last thing to go on the grill. I have 2 bavette steaks here. It's a lovely, but it's pretty fibrous. So we're going to cook these in the George Foreman for 4 minutes. They're going to come out pretty rare. And the reason I don't want to cook them all the way through is because this is a batch cook. And when these are not for consumption now, this is for my lunch tomorrow and then later in the week. So it's going to be pretty rare. I'm going to cut across the meat grain. So I'm going to have little strips. And then when I reheat my meal in the oven, my steak is not going to go tough. I'll probably get it after 2 minutes in the microwave. It might go up to probably medium or like medium well. So we're only putting them in the grill for 4 minutes to char on the outside. They're going to be pretty rare. We're going to slice them, put them in here. You're going to see how beautiful it is, and have our meals ready. My marinade is olive oil, garlic, extra virgin olive oil, basil, ground parsley, and oregano. So it's a sort of Mediterranean style marinade. So this has been sitting in the fridge for about 36 hours. So that flavor should come together really nicely. Just gonna get a fork, and I'm gonna pop these on the grill, and these are gonna go through very quickly, 4 minutes. I want to get my bavette completely flat. Actually, this bavette is quite thick, so I might do 5 minutes instead of 4. So before I put the lid down, I'm going to check the before I put the lid down, I'm going to check the clock. So it's 9:33 plus 5 minutes. There we go. All done. I'm going to leave this here. This is for the chipotles. And I'm going to trim my beans. These were washed earlier. Just going to trim off Again, I am going to saute these in that lovely smoked salt butter. It's hard to do the chopping, all the chopping without giving you my back, but I want to keep you company while you're doing your batch cooking. Oh, I'm so good at it. You know, I should have bought the trimmed beans. I normally buy the ones that are already trimmed. Like, oh, it looks like a little alien. Oh, this is irritating me. Anyway, I should be thankful for my beautiful beans and not complain. Just get on with it. Just get on with it. Oh. I wonder what they use to trim them. If it's something that's done on the farm. Is it done by the supplier? Okay, we made it. So I said 9:33, so 2 minutes have elapsed. There we go. Those are all beans, nicely trimmed and ready for steaming. I really am not doing well on the retention here. Anyway, 47 minutes. It's hard to keep up the energy required to keep people around, but it is what it is. Steak beauty. So the steak has 2 more minutes to go, and then we're going to put the mushrooms on, and then we'll be done with the grill. Time to check in with the corn. The corn is now cool enough. So I am going to complete the bean salad right here. Right here, so that you can see all of the action. There's our corn, and I'm just going to give that a nice mix. Try not to get any on the floor. Very simple, again, more protein. So the beans are what make this side a little more high protein, and the corn is kind of like our carb. Lovely, lovely, lovely. And that's all done. Let's have a taste. Not inhale any, start choking. Mmm. Delicious. So, I'm gonna just dance while I chew, so I don't choke. Okay. That is that. When we're done, everything is going into the dishwasher. My broccoli is almost done. I need a container for my broccoli. What am I going to put it in? In one of these. Okay, I'm going to turn the heat off, and I want to show you the color that I was talking about. So they get this bright green, and that's enough steaming so that if you have a batch cook and then you heat this up in a microwave, it still has a nice bite and it's firm. It has crisp. You don't want to overcook it. I'm just going to put them in here. Just let me see everything, don't burn myself. Oh, I need to angle down is what I need to do. Get to see my lovely kitchen floor and my lovely little feet. We don't want it to be that kind of live, but okay, broccoli is done. So our sides are coming along really nicely. I've gone over 2 minutes on my steak, so I'm going to take those off. Yeah, I've gone over, but that's fine. It's fine. They are very thick cuts of baguettes. So we're going to put them on a plate to rest. And we will slice them in a moment. I'm competing with the fume hood, so I should project a little more. Did I? There we go. That's better. Let's get these steakaroonies on the plate to rest. We're not going to touch them. And we're going to go straight in with our mushrooms. Remember what I was telling you earlier about the drip tray? So now that the steaks are done, look at that. Look at how easy cleanup is going to be. All of the drippings went into that water, so it's like super clean. Mushrooms, we're going to put them down when we cut them in half, flat side down. So we're just going to put those all on the grill, stuff them like that, and then just arrange them the flat side down. They will sort of tend to want to go to that side. Just gonna move them all around. Close the lid, and then we're gonna cook them for about 2 minutes. Have a check, and then see if we want that to go any longer. So 1 little packet of mushrooms tends to fill up the grill after you've cut them in half. Now they're all ready to go. And that's the last thing that we're grilling. So we have our cavolo. We're going to keep building this up. Next we're going to go in with a little bit of bean salad. Move that over a little bit. So we're gonna have this, the bottom of this dish in thirds. So we have our cavolo, our corn and bean salad, the mushrooms going to go here, and then across the top you'll have the steak slices. I'm going to get a steak knife. So we're going to look for the grain of the baguettes. Turn this over. I'm going to angle you down so you can see what's happening with the baguettes. Make sure I don't get in the way. Is this thing... So our bavette, the fibers are running this way, so we're going to cut perpendicular to that. That's 90 degrees for you who missed that day at school. And we're going to see how this cooked through. So it's medium, but the knife is making easy work of this. So the most important thing is that the bavette is not overcooked. It's not dry. It's quite juicy. And cutting across the grain like this makes it easier to chew. The mushrooms are almost ready. And then I will plate this all up so you can see what our steak lunch looks like. Yeah, this cooked very well actually. I'm very happy with this. So this recipe has been under testing for the last 2 weeks. I've eaten a lot of steak and it's just delicious. You're full, you can get through the afternoon without any sort of slumpy feeling. And it's just delicious. Just absolutely delicious. The mushrooms are smelling ready to me, yes. So I'm just going to turn the grill off. And I'm going to slice this guy. And we will do one plate to show you what everything looks like. I'm going to cut these a little wider. It doesn't need to be super. It's mostly so that they heat up easily in the microwave. And if I had done it a little more rare, that they could cook through on that reheat. The whole thing with a batch cook is, I mean, for certain things you cook them as normal, but some batch cooks need a little extra thought and attention. So we're going to angle back over to our mushrooms in the grill, and then we're going to get those out. Well, make sure they're not going everywhere. There we go. Lost one here. And as I was saying, the water from the mushrooms really picked up everything that was left over from the steak. So I'm just going to put that right in there. Like that. What a fantastic batch cook. I love this meal. When everybody at work is eating their bag of crisps and their Pret sandwich, you can have your main meal during the day so that you can have a light evening meal. It's just better for you. You sleep better, you fall asleep better. There we have it. Gorgeousness. Gorgeousness. Our grill is done. Thank you, George. You served us well yet again. Mushrooms, bean and cold salad, carbonara, steak. Ooh, papa. That is delicious. Farmer J, eat your heart out. So there we have it. Steak batch cook. We will move on to fish. Should I do that another night? Should I call it quits? Maybe I could do the fish tomorrow night and meet up with you guys yet again, because it is 59 minutes. And I do not want to have you in the kitchen any longer than 1 hour. So we've done our chipotlas, our breakfast. And I am actually going to tune in again to a YouTube live to do the fish. But I think we should do the pancakes, because it's pancake day. Let's do the pancakes, because the pancakes take no time at all. So I'm going to turn that off. I'm going to deal with the cooking smells later. So let's put the pancake pan on and let's make our pancakes. I'm going to put it on high heat. I'm going to do 12. Everything's sort of spread around, cooling off all of our meals. put this over here. Oh, the green beans, I will also put those on to steam. I'm going to move this back a little bit. Beans, beans, beans. Let's put the beans in here while the pan heats up. And I'll show you how I do my pancakes. We get a little help from Waitrose. So Waitrose makes these beautiful sweet crepes. I'm going to get them out of the fridge. I tested them last night, so the package is already open. So we have 6 sweet crepes. We're just going to heat them up in the pan, reheat them as normal, and we're going to drizzle on some lemon juice and some rum. What is that noise? There we go. This thing is so temperamental. It doesn't like anything touching it. Now we have a series of miniatures from Room Clément, and I have been drinking the blue cane white rum. So we're going to give this a little drizzle in there. It really is flavorful. Oh, steak is delicious. Just having a little sample of that. Yeah. So let's get this out of the way. It was a very ambitious attempt, but the good thing is I cooked all my vegetables, so they're not going to go bad. Let's taste the broccoli. Gonna make me dance. Okay. It's edible, but it's not mushy. So, let's get our lemon. I started working on this one last night. Just finish it. When we chew, we dance so we don't choke. Oh my goodness. Okay, pancake. Please sizzle. Oh my gosh, so temperamental. That's it. Just gonna let it cook. There. I'm gonna let one side cook. I'm gonna get my little teaspoon of sugar lined up. I have brown sugar here with a nice vanilla pod in it. It's how I store my sugar. So, it smells so good. So our sugar's ready. I'm just gonna cook this. What does it say? It says delicious warm with lemon and sugar and rum. It is 30 seconds in the microwave. You can eat it hot or cold. Place one pancake in a microwave. You could do it in the oven. Yeah, I'm just doing it on the stovetop. Just to heat it through. They're already cooked. I don't mind having like a little edge of crisp on my pancake. So we're going in with that lemon. Sugar. Just a little bit. Maybe a teaspoon. Just sprinkled around. And then our rum. Nice. I'm going to take that off the heat. Get my plate here. And we are going to eat our Pancake Day pancake together. What I like to do is just give it a little roll. Like that. Ooh, it just has that lovely little bit of crisp to it. There we go. And let's tuck in. Oh, the smell. Mmm. 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 Delicious. Okay. Eat you first. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for joining me tonight. And I hope that I see you soon in the near future for more batch cooking. You can follow me on Instagram, on TikTok, at The Good Simple Life. All one word, lowercase. I love you lots, and I'll see you soon. Now I have to figure out how to end this live. Because I've actually not done live. Ooh. This is the worst part. Do I press the clock? Camera? No. Flip mute. Hide. Retouch lighting. Do I press the X at the top? Okay, are you sure that you want to stop streaming? Yes. Bye, guys. Love you, love.